We all know them. They're the ones that help our animals whenever they're sick. But do we know what the kind of decisions they have to make whenever choosing their profession? The definition of veterinary medicine is a science that specializes in prevention, diagnosis, and treatment of disease in animals, according to the U.S. National Library of Medicine. I personally love veterinary science. I'm currently in animal science, in the competitive group Vet Science, and I'm on the Sierra show team. While doing these activities, I've had to deal and work with veterinarians. In this speech, I'm going to explain the three main practices in veterinary. The first veterinary profession I want to talk about is private. Private practice is mostly your simple vet. So let's say your cat's sick. You simply go to that vet. That is a private vet. Now, according to the book Veterinary Science by Flora and Flaherty's, 61,000 vets are in private practice. Among these, 77% are in companion animals, which is like dogs, cats, reptiles, stuff like that. 8% are in food animals, which is like cows, sheep, swine, stuff like that. 7% are in a mixture of those two, and 6% are in equine. Along with private practice, there's also public practice. According to the American Veterinary Medical Association, public veterinary practice has 12,000 vets in its program. These practices are in military, state, and federal agencies and universities. These practices fall under 4 categories, as you can see in your pamphlet there. Education is mostly about the university and professors. So if someone wants to be a veterinary assistant, they would go to an educational-based public practice. With research, that is your clinical basic research. So whenever you're thinking about, a dog being sick and the symptoms of that, the person who is watching that animal is under the research category. Regulatory is someone who watches animal health and human health. So let's say a dog has bronchitis, and human can get that as easily as another animal can. That also applies with equine infections. And the final one I want to talk about is service in that category. That's where veterinarians use diagnostics to, serve people. So that is usually with humane societies, shelters, stuff like that. Usually these vets in public practices usually do not charge much, especially under the Humane Society. The final veterinary profession I want to talk about is industry. Now, according to the American Veterinary Medical Association, industry veterinarians have 3,000 vets in its program. Industry is mostly about pharmacy and food making, and also about vetting. Now, what happens is that these vets test on animals to make sure that this stuff is healthy for animals. So with food, they gotta make sure that it has the right nutritional value and safety in it. Also, same thing with bedding. They don't want it to have, harsh bedding on certain skin types, stuff like that. It's mostly about safety, nutrition, all that stuff. In conclusion, these are the 3 veterinary practices. Many people do not know about these veterinary practices, and it should be a common knowledge, especially to someone who is younger and wants to be a vet and, say, oh, I'm gonna be a vet, but they don't know the practices in it. I personally love learning about veterinary science, and I just want to explain the 3 veterinary practices to you. Thank you.